Suppose that 85% of all business managers are willing to switch companies if they offered a salary increase of 20%. If a headhunter randomly contacts a simple random sample of 51 managers, what is the probability that a proportion willing to switch companies if offered a higher salary is between 91.15% and 94.6%? Now, this question definitely is related to the distribution of sample proportion, because it can't be a binomial distribution, because the question here asks about the proportion. As you see here, the proportion. So we have the population proportion and we have the sample size. The population proportion is 85% and the sample size is 51. And the question asks about the proportion being between this number and this number. And notice how these are not discrete, they are continuous. So we're going to use the distribution of sample proportion in order to tackle this question. So the first step is to find the mean of the distribution of sample proportion, which is equal to the population proportion, and that is 85%. The standard deviation of the distribution of sample proportion is equal to the square root of p times 1 minus p divided by n, which is equal to the square root of 0.85 times 1 minus 0.85 divided by 51. I'm going to compute the mean and I'm going to compute the standard deviation right here. And then to answer this question, to find the proportion in between these, I know that if I have a normal distribution and this normal distribution has the proportions at the bottom, or the sample proportions at the bottom, with the mean, which is equal to 0.85, I want to find the proportion between 91.15, which is approximately here, so 0.9115, and the other one, which is 94.6, which is here. So the area between those two. We know how to find the area in between two numbers on the normal distribution. I have the mean, I have the standard deviation, so I'm going to say norm dot distribution of the big number, which is 0.946, comma, the mean, comma, the standard deviation, comma, true, minus norm dot distribution of the small number 9115, comma, the mean 85, comma, the standard deviation, comma, true. If you compute this number, it's going to give you the answer, so I'm going to do that here. Norm dot distribution of 0.946, comma, 0.985, comma, the standard deviation. I'm going to compute the standard deviation here. You should probably compute it outside. It's going to save you some time. 1 minus 0.85 divided by 51. Okay, comma, true. I'm going to close the parentheses, minus norm dot distribution of the small number 0.9115, comma, the mean, comma, the standard deviation, square root of 0.85 times 1 minus 0.85 divided by 51, comma, true. So that is the answer. As you can see, I see this is the second option. If you round it to 4 decimals, this is going to be your second option. So I'm going to select the second option in the question. And that is how you answer this question.